Yep, more bench. More bench, baby. Alright, now I think it should be working. There we go. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Alright. Let's do it. Oh man, yesterday the leg day got me. Does it look even? I guess it looks even. Alright, I will update the workout log here in a second. Oh, holy smokes. We have auto exposure on, I think. And it does not look good when I walk away. That was a flashbang. Alright, no auto exposure. Heard that. Alright, there we go. Oh my god, we're feeling rough today. Ugh. Hello, Naroji. Happy Saturday. Oh yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays. Oh man. Man, all this like overcast and rain and storm this week. Oh. I've just been waking up like not wanting to do like, oh, just lay in my bed. It is. Alright, let's see. What was I gonna do here? We need to update the workout log. Dude, it's just been so bad just like laying there. Oh bad. Alright, let's see. Tempo. Just the general Saturday setup with a single. The 1 rep tempo. $310. Okay. So we'll do 310 to 315. 3 sets at 9. And 195 maybe. It's gonna be a big maybe on the range here. Just because I'm probably gonna do whatever is gonna be easy to put on the bar, whether that's heavier, probably just heavier. And then our usual inverted supinated row, flat pull down. EFR bicep / tricep. Got really nice warm spring weather going on. Nice. Yeah, just been a lot. Yeah, it's just some overcast and whatnot for me. I've been a potato, man. Been a potato. Because I was like, man, we can get started on the workout pretty early today, and whew, that did not happen. Man, I don't know if we have some anime watchers in here, but the finales for this simulcast have been going crazy. The Jujutsu Kaisen finale was pretty dang good. Hell's Paradise finale pretty dang good. And then I think there actually was another episode that came out for Fire Force this week, because I thought last week's was the finale. Maybe. This upcoming simulcast will be very cool, though. It'll be another really good one. Fire Force? Yeah, Fire Force is a good one for sure. Especially now that it's like, there was a very big gap in between, I think season 2 and season 3. Like, it was very big. But now, like, you don't have to wait for that. So I would definitely recommend it. What's up, P? Yeah, Fire Force is a good one. There's so many animes to watch in night off time. Yep. It's definitely, you can tell things have changed. People are generally a lot more acceptable of anime, and I just think that a lot more people watch anime, therefore there's just been more coming out too. Alright, let's see. So we have this upcoming simulcast is a cool one because we have Demons of the Shadow Realm, which is A new series from the creator of Full Metal Alchemist, right? And actually, if you look at some of the characters, you can kind of see some resemblances of Full Metal Alchemist characters. You can really tell that the art style is fairly similar there. And then there's another one by the creators of Inuyasha, actually, but I'm trying to remember the name of that one. Inuyasha. New Inuyasha anime. How about that? Maybe that'll get us the title. Mao is what it's called. MAO. So yeah, it'll be a cool one, right? Like Full Metal Alchemist was obviously. I mean, if we're talking animes, of course there's Dragon Ball Z, but I feel like everybody, of course, watched Dragon Ball Z. But those are the ones that I would say got me into it, or that I watched as a kid. Full Metal Alchemist is still probably one of the top ones for me. And then, of course, Inuyasha was good as well. I will say, like, just looking at both of them and seeing, like, I don't know if I saw the trailer for Mao, but it seems like the plot is actually pretty similar to Inuyasha, whereas, like, Demons of the Shadow Realm is, like, seems like a completely different story from Full Metal Alchemist. I think I'm a little bit more excited for the Demons of the Shadow Realm or the FMA creator one versus the Inuyasha one, but yeah, we'll see. What a treat that we get them both on the upcoming simulcast. I'm trying to think what else is coming back. It's a pretty stacked simulcast, if I'm remembering correctly. Well, I guess this would be spring 2026. We'll take a look at it. P, you've never watched anime? Really? Really? Never watched anime. Yeah, Zero, that's the thing. I remember it had to have been on Adult Swim that I watched those, right? I was up too late, night before school. Adult Swim. Reincarnated as a slime. Dr. Stone. I actually watched Dr. Stone up to a certain point, but then I kind of dropped off. I should really pick it back up. It's pretty interesting. New high-profile adaptations, Witch Hat Atelier. Oh, ReZero as well. I need to get caught up on ReZero. See, what else do we have here? Oh, wait. Are we getting Wistoria? Wistoria is pretty good too, actually. Dang. Yeah, we got a good one. Alright, let's see here. I gotta get caught up on messages. Was that on Adult Swim Toonami? On Adult Swim for me? Adult Swim. Adult Swim? Okay, so here's the deal. There was like Cartoon Network, which was like the kids kind of shows, right? That would just air like throughout the day. And then there was like that time period, right, where it swaps from Cartoon Network to Adult Swim, where it was like maybe stuff that was more like gory, like not so PG. It would kind of air that stuff, and generally, you know, we're talking like Robot Chicken. We're talking about Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist. All of that stuff. But yeah, I think you're right, Naroji. Adult Swim probably exposed, you know, the Night Owl children, the Night Owl kids to a lot of anime. What's funny is I was actually talking about it like a week ago. You know, people that think brain rot is new never watched Robot Chicken as a kid, or Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Like, brain rot is not new by any means. That was like peak brain rot. We all turned out okay, but I mean, let's be real. That was maximum brain rot right there. I actually forgot. Was it Toonami first before it was Cartoon Network? Holy smokes. Yeah, maybe that is true. Those are the good days. actually don't remember Boomerang at all, though. Oh, well, yeah, actually, yeah, okay, I see. It was had the Looney Tunes and all that stuff on there. You know what? Maybe I do the more I think about it. Yeah. And I saw the logo. I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe I do remember that actually. Yep. Man, I should watch. I should look up some Robot Chicken just to see how ridiculous that was. Like, imagine like that's like the new torture, right? Is strapping somebody up in a chair and making them watch like 10 episodes of Robot Chicken. Or they exploring Robot Chicken. Their brain's about to be cooked after that one. Alright, this should be probably a last warm-up. I'm sure we'll just take either 310 or 315 after this. I don't want to just go 315, not gonna lie. That was pretty smooth. Pretty smooth, pretty easy. I don't know, did you guys watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force at all too? That one was an interesting one as well. We got Mr. Fry. We got Squad. That's crazy work. That show was definitely something else. Alright, 315. We just decided to do a nice heavy jump, right? So 287 straight to 315 should be no problem. 287 was feeling quite light. No worries. No worries. man, it is chilly down here. I swear, I need to carve a new vent in the floor from my room to the downstairs, because, like, my room, it just gets so hot. Alright. I think the plan will be that we'll play a little bit of some Crimson Desert after the workout stream too. Get a little bit of that going. It's been a very sporadic week this week in terms of the Crimson playthrough. GK Mad, hello. Welcome in. How we doing today? Alright, let's do it. Starting my session here in my gym. Nice. What are you working today? Have the patches made a big difference in Crimson? Oh yeah, for sure. They have really been cranking it out, not gonna lie. They have been cranking out a ton. Squats today, very nice, very nice. It's always a good day. Yeah, they've kind of actually changed movement, and they actually changed it, and then they even added in a feature. If you liked the previous movement, you can actually like toggle it to that, or if you like the new movement, then great. I would say the movement before it felt very heavily like inertia based, right? So like if your character would run, if you wanted to stop, you'd still kind of like go forward. It felt a little bit too much inertia. But now after the change, you can break people's ankles no problem. And that's just one of the things, right? I think there's some feedback about people wanting, I guess there was some mounts that you could play temporarily, like use temporarily. Well, they just like added in legendary mounts outside of your horse that you can keep, I guess, now. So I think there are some targeting changes, some performance changes. What other really good? When you teleported, it used to be a very long like loading screen. Now it's pretty quick now in comparison. All right, let's do the set real quick. All right, that's pretty good. 315, pretty good tempo to it. Let's see, what else have they done? What else have they done? The storage chest was huge for sure. Actually, I think they're even about to add more to your storage. Because inventory management was kind of a pain before, for sure. Honestly, I told one of my buddies, like, the longer you wait to actually buy the game and play it, the better experience you're probably going to have, because they've already cranked out so much that I would say improves the overall experience. Because, like, I don't know, it's been like a love-hate thing for me, I think. Because there are some things that, like, feel really jank that I don't know how they pass through. But then, like, other parts of the game where there's a level of detail that was very appreciable. But I think they've been working on really fixing up some of those weak points, so. Probably buy it another month or so. Okay, yeah. You're gonna buy it too? Yeah, it's been fun. I will continue the playthrough here after the workout stream. We'll get a little game stream in. I mean, to be fair, you know, it was a very, very ambitious project, so. A lot of things, a lot of boxes you gotta check off. But I guess the telling thing is the fact that they've just been, you know, really, really cranking out patches ever since the game launched already. And it's only been like 2 weeks? I swear it's been like at least 3 major patches. Alright, here's the deal. I think I'm just gonna go 205. Because it's just way easier to load it. Man, I still wish that they never put De Novo in it, though. Or De Novo. Because just cooks performance, man. And I bet I could play on a setting that would make the graphics look way better if it wasn't for De Novo. Unlucky. Alright, where are we at? 35 minutes. Oh man, we got to talking about Cartoon Network and all that other jazz. Adult Swim. Alright, this should be 3 sets at 9 if I'm not mistaken. We are going heavier than what I put on the workout log for ease of weight loading. You gonna go heavier than your programming? Ooh. What week are you on, you know? What week are you on the program? I try not Me personally, I try not to deviate unless it's like, you know, towards the end, you know, a nice week 3, week 4 that's supposed to be heavy. Oh god. Sorry. Ugh. Being taken out by some water. Next comp isn't until I coach some NET big lift, big mode for a while. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, what week are you on your block? Because generally I try to stay pretty on pace, unless it's like a week 3, week 4, right, where it's supposed to be pretty heavy. Like we're on week 1, for me here, and this is pretty easy. But I know there's going to be 3 more weeks of progression, and I want to be able to have that progression for all 3 weeks. So this is a good spot. Gives me an opportunity to make sure that I'm being efficient, right, with my my movement. Really try to lock in on nice pressing motion. You know, maybe make sure we're having a nice tempo, nice control. Oh, Olympic weightlifting. Okay, very cool. Yeah, Olympic weightlifting, I think for me, that's probably something that I'd always say after powerlifting, whenever that may be, it would probably be Olympic weightlifting next. Like, I've always wanted to try that out at some point in my fitness, journey. That being said, I've also just been doing powerlifting so long. Quite a long time for me. I first started training, I was doing powerlifting, I found out I could be very technical, I had excellent mobility, so you switch, nice. Yeah, I think I like that about Olympic weightlifting, that it's very technical. Honestly, for me, like, I think snatch is cool, right? I like doing jerks. Jerks are fun. I don't like the clean portion quite as much, but I think jerks are pretty fun. Like, if my gym had those, really nice, like the boxes where you can set the bar and the weight and just be able to get the front rack and just do jerks. Oh my god, I think I play around with that all the time. Putting massive weight overhead always was cool, and it feels just amazing. Jerk blocks, yeah. Those things are quite expensive, I hear, though. Nice to have for sure. But I don't think any gym is going to get those unless they have a lot of people, weightlifting through there. Which is crazy because they're just like, they're just like boxes, right? Whether you got the, I guess some are foam and then some are like the wooden ones, maybe? Oh yeah, plus you said you doing yours from home. That's pretty awesome. To have all that stuff is pretty dang amazing. You got 1,000 square feet. Damn. Might as well start opening access up to the public and start charging people memberships. That is a pretty good home gym right there. Wouldn't be better to charge this, put us on here a couple weeks ago. Damn! Damn! Our car lurking, alright. Thank you. Good old World of Warcraft Saturday, huh? Alright, we got some inverted rows. Alright. Putting some extra weight on here in the old lap. Hopefully it stays. All right, let's see here. Yeah, we just got the platform, the rack, bench, bar, then a nice workout weight machine that we'll get around to using at the end of the workout. Pretty much, you know, I would say it covers the meat and potatoes and things, right? Makes it to where I can get a good enough workout in, at least for upper body, which is generally why when I do the workout streams, they're generally bench and upper body, just because I don't have a ton of access to do. Like to feel like I would get a good workout in for like legs by the time I got done. Yeah. I have pretty much everything I would need for upper. Maybe, yeah, definitely more limited on the lower. Oh man, this upcoming week will be nice. Finally got my ear, nose, throat appointment on Friday. Get all that figured out. Yep, this coming Friday. Counting down the days, that's for sure. They'll get you all sorted out. Yeah, hopefully, man. Get back to some much like higher quality rest and recovery. Working my way through the Indiana Jones game that came out last year. Nice. Good old Indiana Jones. Yeah, I've been cranking out Crimson Desert best I can. It's just such a big game, man. We're gonna be playing Crimson Desert for a while, you know. But before Crimson came out, we did a nice Resident Evil playthrough on stream. What was before Resident Evil? I'm trying to even remember. I think it was just some gacha stuff. Some mobile game stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have to see what's after Crimson Desert. I have stuff in the back pile. I don't know if there's anything in terms of new release that's like really coming in the very near future. I really would like to get around to playing Stellar Blade. I bought that when it was on sale and I just haven't gotten to it yet. Alright, well that's the inverted road set here. And then I think from there we'll move on to the machine work. Oh. Ooh. All right, let's see here. Let's move things over. Rotate some of these cameras, or camera, I guess. Just changing the one angle here. Oh, so you're saying after you're doing your working sets, you're gonna hit some heavy singles too? Demon. Must be feeling good. Let's rotate this over a bit now. Oh yeah, it's lat pull down, so let's just go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do this and this. Yeah, we'll crank out something pretty heavy here. Heavy singles program are about 85%. Been a while since I went really heavy on squats. 85% is not too bad. Not too bad. It's been a really long time since I went really heavy on squats too. I've just been doing safety squat bar squats because they feel so much more comfortable. And the reality of it is, I haven't competed in a while, and it's probably going to be a while before, you know, I really get on the platform again, so might as well just pick a variation that actually feels really good in the meantime. Alright, let's see, I'm going to take this off for now. So I can actually lean back a bit more. What did I end up doing last block? I think I did a 430 for 3 on my week 4 on the safety squat bar. Which generally they're like pause squats, but you know, maybe not the best pauses. This block, I'm working some doubles on safety squat bar, so we'll see what I can work up to. If I could hit like a 440 or 450 double, yeah, that's pretty good. I'd be pretty happy with that. I don't think that I've hit anything in that range. I think I'm gonna see if I can get in the 400s today. Hell yeah. I'm a lot more of a deadlift guy than anything, I'll be honest. I'm a deadlift one trick. Love me some deadlift. You either pick it up or you don't. You get it. You understand. I think that's the best part about it. If you can't lift it up, all you gotta do is just drop it back down on the floor. You know? You know, with squats, it's like, if you get stuck in a certain spot, it's like, am I low enough that I can just let it, you know, kind of come onto the bar? Do I lean forward? I mean, generally, I would recommend that people just, you know, dump it behind them and then push their body forward, but and then bench, it's like, well, now it's stuck on my chest. I guess I can roll it down or tip it over and make a bunch of noise. Deadlift is just like, oh, I can't get it up any higher. Oh, dang, that sucks. I guess I'll just drop it. Never great at bench for tree trunk legs. I think I'd say I'm decent at bench. I think that squat is probably my weakest lift, actually. I'm not entirely, you know, like, I'm not exactly super tall by any means, but I guess proportion-wise, like, I have some longer, you know, femurs. So squats, it's just, like, always it's just always such a challenge, honestly. To get squat to really click is just, it's tough. All right, last lat pull down set, and then I will crank out some. Yeah, we got some blood flow restriction or occlusion training, whatever you want to call it. Got a few different names, all the same. Pretty good. Hi, Greeny. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Oh boy, thank you for the raid. Okay. Got a lovely raid coming in. Much appreciated. You know what? Let me go ahead and get some things going here. Tina put me on. All right. Thanks for the recommendation there. Tina. All right, let's go ahead and appreciate you guys. I'm an OBS newbie, so I have to go onto the old Twitch browser. All right, shout out to iGreeny17. Much appreciated for the raid. And if we go on here, let's see, what do we got going on? Oh, that's not you. What were we training today? Says world's best above average sportsman.
It's odd. If something's free, people just can't resist it. More baffling is that people...
Pulling today with some hit. All right, there you go. Are we general fitness, powerlifting, weightlifting, CrossFit? Anything in specific? On my end, it's generally just a lot of, powerlifting stuff. That's what you can expect. Try not to be fat. Fair enough. Fair enough. I recently decided to bulk up. I guess it hasn't been super recent, but probably within the past like 5 months. I was sitting kind of low at like 182, and the goal was to get around 200, which we are sitting there now, but I'm like, oh man, I can't really gain any more than this. I don't want to be looking like Pillsbury Doughboy out there. So I have been personally trying to get a little bit of cardio in myself. $226 about 6 weeks ago, and $216 now. Nice. Nice little 10 pounds in 6 weeks. Yeah, I think the more that I go on, I've been powerlifting for a pretty long time, honestly. Like, it's been over like 10 years. And I think if there's one thing I would have told my younger self is to make sure that I'm getting some sort of like aerobic activity, some sort of cardio in back then as well, Just kind of be smarter, right? And understand that it's like health first and not always, the weight on the bar. Water flew off first 2 weeks, slowed down since, yeah. True. Alright, so we are setting up to get ready to do some BFR stuff. Failed 400, was it close? Used to be trying to do math every session, but I'm only getting older now. Yeah. I feel that. midway. Okay, okay. Not bad. See, and that's why, you know, sticking to the program, it's just like... Because now you got a failed set under the belt. And that's just no fun, you know? Alright, I guess we'll leave the tricep first. So I don't have to do a bunch of taking things off and putting things on. That should be a good height. And we'll probably hang out here. Won't end on a failed list. Oh, see, now you're getting even more in. Yeah, I would say, you know, elevator pitch for some of the Raiders that came in. A lot of, like, the fitness and health workouts, primarily powerlifting based. So all things, you know, fitness, health, powerlifting. And then also I am like a sports chiropractor for what that's worth. So maybe occasional like talking points of, you know, pain, injury, rehab related topics, all that jazz. And occasionally we'll do some game streams, kind of fill in the empty gaps in the schedule. CNS, gotta feel that heavy weight sometimes if it's a failed lift. Hey, fair enough, you know. I guess we all have our theories and whatnot. Especially if that works for you, then hell yeah. Where I've had low back pain 14 months now. Shit's ass. Ooh, man, that's quite a long time to be dealing with it. Have you tried, like, what have you tried, you know? I guess that's the thing about the internet and social media, is like, there will be so many people with different opinions and, you know, your quick fixes. I'm gonna hit the set here real quick. We are tight enough for our BFR. It's a PT, but way too much money. Do you think it made a difference? Trying to stretch hips and back with flexion, extension, lateral work, strength and weakened mornings, and stability stuff. Okay. A long time ago, after college, I got fat, lazy, playing WoW all the time, ended up with some chronic low back pain, started powerlifting, getting stronger, posterior chain, my back pain ended up going away. Yeah, you know, and I would say, I think a lot of people would say, they'd probably like to go for the fact that you strengthen your posterior chain, but I would say it's more so probably because you just got more active in general, right? You got more movement and maybe not necessarily like sitting around for a super prolonged period of time that helped it more than anything. Although that can get kind of nuanced and messy because like you have your people that are very active that are having low back pain, right? So very like nuanced and I guess context dependent. After sitting on a couch for a few hours, I get hunched like an old man. Do you feel like the stuff you're doing now has helped more than the PT? It's always interesting because I still feel like there's a disparity of like your general PT and maybe, you know, a lot of the times, I guess the easy way to describe it is like you have your general PT where you're doing a bunch of banded exercises and stuff that really like isn't stressing you to actually, I guess, force adaptations, you know? It's very like scaled down and like almost not appropriate for you and where you're at. Versus like, you know, providers that understand the sport and the demands and can sort of like grade up accordingly. Not to shit on anybody or anything in specific, because I love, you know, physical therapists as much as I probably love them more than I like my fellow chiros. I'll be honest. Also, the Black Destiny, thank you for the follow. Just now getting around to that. Much appreciated. You guys are great. Been around my fair share of cars. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. I will be the first one to say that, too. I am very critical. Very critical of... healthcare is just kind of a shit show, honestly. It's the best way to explain it. It may not seem like it from the outside, but... it is rough. Well, Grady, you'll have to keep me posted on how that goes. If you make any progress or anything like that. For sure. Or if you ever have any questions or anything, definitely let me know. Alright, let's get set up for these BFR preacher curls to end things out here. I'm in a healthcare family, I understand your point of view. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I feel like my job nowadays is more so like reassuring people of like all of the random crap they've heard or helping them navigate, you know, that stuff. You know, whether it's like, you know, people will go to like I guess like a standard doctor and then for some reason they get imaging done when it might not necessarily be warranted by any means. And then they're told, you know, they have degenerative disc disease or disc bulge, when in reality these imaging findings are actually very common even in people that like don't have pain at all. So, oh man, yeah, it's messy out there. Looking to BPC. Yeah, I've seen a lot of talk about BPC. Honestly, I don't know how I came across it, but there's like a Gym Rats like Facebook community group, and I swear everybody is talking about BPC and how it helped them and all that. I don't know. I don't think the literature like supports it quite yet. And you also have to make sure, I mean, it's the same with pre-workout or anything else. Making sure that it actually has what it's supposed to have and nothing else, right? You got people taking pre-workout that has stuff in it and that ends up coming up on in like a drug test, for example, right? And powerlifting, if you're, I guess, competing in the drug-tested federation. You just never know, right? Of course, if you're not competing, then it doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, you just don't know, what they're putting in stuff. I would have to be in a position where I really feel like I ran out of like all options, I guess. Unknown drug test accounts should be open to looking at TRT. How old are you though, Matt? How old are you? Oh, 47, okay. Hey, fair enough then, I was gonna say, like, you just never know how old the individuals are that are coming in, hanging out, because I've had people ask about it when they're, like, super young, and it's like, bro, you don't even know if you're gonna be lifting still in the next, like, 3 years, right? I had a bunch of people that would, in high school or in college, I had a lot of friends that would work out that aren't working out anymore, like, at all, so just seems silly. That's why I'm always checking up on, if you're 19, you don't even know, if you're gonna like your girlfriend still in 3 weeks. Seven 175, mid 400 back squat. Not too shabby. True. I think, once you get to a point where I guess you're aging and you feel like you're kind of stallmating and you've accepted that maybe there might be a health risk associated with maybe perhaps some mass stuff. Well, like, depending on what it is, right? Not necessarily saying that what you're talking about you would have, but training 2 to 4 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week for 15 years straight. Ooh, man. Mike, how we doing today, brother? How are we? I think that's the one thing about my training is I'm not spending nearly as much time as I used to, which is really a good thing. And I think it was a net positive for my training. I was spending way too much time working out. Saturday sessions that were like SBD sessions were taking me like maybe 3.5 hours. Just, I guess my opinion is because I went from that and then I went to this, nobody needs to be training for that long. At some point, it becomes counterproductive, right? Work from home is pretty simple to train for Olympic lifting, especially when the gym is real close to my home office. Yeah. Alright, let's see. I think I'm pretty cleaned up, actually. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I do plan on getting a continuation of the Crimson Desert playthrough on stream following the workout stream. But I almost would rather raid another in fitness and health, just because some of you guys just might only be interested in the fitness and health stuff. So if you guys have any recommendations on, you know, I guess getting the raid train going and going from one to another, let me know if you guys know of anybody. And we will, you know, pay that forward. And then the people that want to watch some Crimson Desert playthrough, we'll, you know, I'll be back live, you know, shortly, right? I only do state championships, national comps, and world championships. Keep doing that to be example for my kids. Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Yep, leading by example. Leading by example. Alright, we are pretty cleaned up. I've already taken care of most of that. I guess I'll move this over and chat for a few minutes. Honestly, very good workout stream. Good workout stream. Appreciate you guys. Actually, let me update this so that I have it proper for when we go to look at it next week. We did 315, and then I just went heavier for the sake of making it easy to load. 3 sets of 9, 205. And that was today's. Yeah, man, it's been a minute since I've competed. It has been a hot minute. The last time was the Arnold. Like, I don't even know what year that was. I was on Powerlifting Now, I don't know, a few months ago, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe it was that long ago. Because what, I graduated Logan in, was it 21? Holy shit. It was the end of 21. So it had to have been 2019 or 2020. So it's been a long time since I've competed. But I was very burnt out after that. Obviously, because I tried doing it during like the very book heavy year of Cairo school. It was that first year where it's a lot of like the sciences and all of that stuff. And I think I did 3 competitions that year trying to juggle like all of that. The Cairo school was about like 50 minutes to an hour away from just like where I lived anyways. So I would drive in. So it was pretty much an hour drive back. The school from being like 7:30 to 4:30, studying, getting my workouts in. Yeah, that was a tough one. I was burnt after that. Yeah, sometimes I had to get my lift in during team meetings at work. You're getting it in whenever. But, you know, I've been itching to get back on there. It's just been more so nowadays about making sure business is nice and healthy and growing, of course. And it's more so necessity stuff. Doing meets is like kind of sort of a privilege because once you calculate, like, depending on if you have to travel, a hotel, the federation membership fee, the meat fee, it can add up if you're not doing one locally. And I just think about those 180K student loans that I have. I've always loved strength training and powerlifting, so I mean, I still train as if I'm competing, albeit maybe with a little less motivation at times. Federation membership is reimbursed, so that is good. Oh, it's reimbursed for you guys? I don't remember that being a thing. And the USAPL. Alright, is there anybody that I know that is currently live in fitness and health? Because we'll probably end things out here pretty shortly. And like I said, if anybody has any recommendations, please, let me know. Looks like we don't have a ton of people even just live right now. I get it reimbursed by USA weightlifting for the national champion. Damn, man! He's flexing the national championship. Now that's awesome. We got some heavy hitters in here, I guess. Making me look bad. Yeah, I guess the thing about weightlifting is there's really only like one or two federations, huh? Bro, there are some diabolical things that I'm seeing in the fitness and health category. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anybody I'm too familiar with. Personally. Sweaty Beefcake 24/7. Interesting. Let's see here. I like to watch streams of people training too many thirsty guys and gals. Yeah. Well, I think that's what's like. On my end, what you're gonna expect is that we're always, I'm working out first and foremost. It's gonna be productive in here. It's not gonna be a scenario where I'm like trying to drag a simple bench and upper workout for like 3 hours, right? I'm not gonna be doing a bunch of like strange stuff. There's other people out there if people come in and they like that stuff, It's gonna be a little bit more like, professional and educational on my end versus like, eye candy, for example. So it doesn't feel so alone in here? Yeah. Yeah, I went through periods where there were like facilities that I trained at where there's like actually people that like I worked out with, I trained with, that we're all kind of doing powerlifting. But man, it's been a stretch where it's just been like kind of solo training, and it definitely sucks, you know, sometimes. And of course, all the workouts I do here are solo. Team gym and coach is about 2 hours away from where I live. Okay, yeah, it's quite the distance. You're not seeing them too often there. All right, I'm gonna take one more glimpse since I'm not getting anybody recommending any other fitness and health. See if I recognize any of these peeps before I guess I just end it out. Alright, what are we doing with some of these peeps here? Where's Zero when you need him? Zero be given, he's got all the recommendations. Saturday not too many gym streams on Saturdays? I know, right? Well, let's see here. I think old Greg the Man is somebody that has rated us in the past, so, and he's a pretty chill guy, so we'll probably go ahead and rate him. I think he's a little bit more of like just general fitness. We'll go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Make sure I get the name right. Of course, like I mentioned, I will be getting a continuation of the Crimson Desert playthrough shortly, so we'll probably be back live in like 15-20 minutes. Let's see. I am derping right now. I know, I think he's the mob for some other fitness streamers, yeah. One of these days I'll turn on my camera again. Alright guys, thanks for popping in and hanging out for the Saturday bench stream. We're gonna go ahead and get this typed out here so we are ready to go immediately. Okay. Thanks for popping in for the workout stream. As always, super duper appreciate it. You know, it takes a village. So definitely appreciative of all you guys coming in, hanging out, chatting, making it a nice welcome spot to hang out. Gather some fitness and health tips. I'm like blanking right now. So yeah. Appreciate you guys popping in. Thanks for the raid again to iGreenie. Super duper appreciate that. And also, you know, Tina for the recommendation. She's definitely helped out with some raids already in the past. So I appreciate you guys. It's been, you know, super exciting past couple of months. So we're just going to continue to try to grow this thing and, you know, create a platform and community where we can share some high quality fitness and health and just community to hang out in. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good holiday, and I will see some of you guys shortly for some gaming. All right, guys. Peace. We're gonna go ahead and raid old Greg the Man. Make sure we get this going here. Swap. Boom. All right, see you guys.